Man, it was a wild Friday night last night, Coach. Man, looking at all of the scores from around the area, we thought we had districts pretty much locked up in terms of who we thought the front runners were and who we thought were just. I mean, we were almost ready to hand people trophies, and man, the other teams didn't get the memo. Uh, what was it? Lee Corso, not so fast, my friend. Thursday night scores from around the area, man. Mosley took care of business in Niceville, man. One of the toughest places to play. And the Dolphins pull out the victory, 42-36 in overtime. Man, absolute great showing by Mosley to get themselves in. I believe that may. I'm not sure. I think mathematically, I think that makes them the champions, but I have to double check on some things. But man, taking out your biggest opponent 2 years in a row at on the road at that, man, just a great job by Coach Whitten and his team securing that victory on Thursday. And then Bozeman downs Destin 22-15. Bucks back on the winning side of things, and man, that was a much needed win for them to be able to remain in prime position for the playoffs. Man, some Friday night scores. And this is just where it gets just totally eyebrow raising right here. McClay handles Chambers. For those who don't know, Chambers is the defending, and I forget which class, but they're in the lower classification. They're a defending state champion out of the state of Alabama. And they came in with a lot of moxie. They were, I think they were at 6-1 on the year. And McClay pulls away late, 38-28 over Chambers Academy. And man, the Marauders. Man, this team is legit. They've been proving it week in and week out against upper level competition. They took a stumble the week before against Taylor County, but man, the Marauders bounced back in a big way on senior night at that. And just a great showing by the Marauders. Crosstown, man, Childs put up a fight, but man, Trojans pull away on a 42-28 victory for Lincoln. And Coach, you had a chance to peek in on that one. To me, just the talent at quarterback just makes the difference. Considering the fact that the Jacobs brothers were playing for the opponent just the season before, just kind of goes to show, man, when you got the right person as your signal caller, it turns the tide for you.
Man, Charles didn't do too bad. The score was tied at halftime, and the running attack at Charles is just unstoppable at times. They just run down, they just roll and keep moving the ball, and they score. Uh, the difference was at the quarterback position. A couple of big passes by Jacobs kind of put it out of reach for them. Charles is tough, a tough team to play. It's hard to play them. They're not an easy win. It used to be a time, I think Lincoln has won like 9 or 10 in a row against Charles.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of years before that, it was a little easier than that. It ain't easy to go in there and win a game. And Coach Bill Reagan's doing a great job over there.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like Childs can still. This is a team that honestly is well coached. They do a great job, especially on the offensive line. Those guys were creating holes for the running game, and they were able to kind of give Lincoln a scare for a little bit before Trojans were able to pull away. Lincoln just has had a death grip on the district championship, district title for quite some time, and they don't plan on letting it go anytime soon. Leon, a big winner over Mariana. The Lions get their mojo back with a strong showing against the Bulldogs, 35-6. NFC downs FAMU High in one of the more traditional crosstown rivalries, 49-12. Wakulla, man, what can we say about the War Eagles? They found their offensive groove, and they turned it on big against the upstart Godby Cougars, 38-21. I was very surprised at the score. Wakulla really just found some offense, and they just took it to Godby.
And the Cougars, I thought, had turned the corner, but Wakulla was struggling there a little bit. And now, when they went in there and knocked the Cougars off, I mean, it's not even a close game. I was surprised. I thought the Cougars would probably win the district, but I guess not. Wakulla had something to say about it.
Yeah, we know that Wakulla can throw the ball, but man, this team averages like 150, 160 yards on the ground. And we'll have it all broken down on Wednesday on the extra point. But man, this was a bit of a surprise. Godby had the momentum, and Wakulla looked a little embattled. But the consecutive victories leading into this game obviously gave Wakulla the momentum to be able, and honestly, they found, I believe that they found the chink in the armor, and they were able to just take advantage of it. And so Wakulla looks like they're in the front runner spot for the district championship here. And I believe mathematically, I think they walk away with it. I don't think there are any more district contests left to play for these teams. But yeah, check us out on Wednesday nights. We'll have this all squared away and broken down for you guys. Choctaw blanks Rickards 31-0, and the Big Green Indian keeps rolling. They are undefeated out there in the Panhandle. Raiders suffer another loss. Gadsden County, a big winner over Florida High as they edged the Seminoles 20-19. And man, an embattled Jaguar team found a way to secure a victory against a really good Florida High squad. And even though things did not go as planned for Gadsden County, as they started the year with a lot of hope to make a return run. They had a lot of key players coming back, and just things just got dismantled over there. But man, the kids, even though they are not playoff eligible, the kids play with a lot of pride, and they obviously had something to prove.
Yeah, look, that was a big shocker to me. Gadsden County played a lot of close games, and one thing you have to say about them, they got defense. They got players that can play defense. They struggle on the offensive side, but they got good defensive players. And with a 1-point victory of a solid Florida High football team, that was a surprise. It's not much you can say about it.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of what key pieces remain. I mean, especially on the defensive side, a lot of those guys still, are still there. They're talented. They've got a lot of D1 talent on that defensive front. You try to include, the entire embodiment of the season. And it's really impossible to do that because you understand that certain players weren't eligible until a certain point in time. Even Florida High got back a few pieces, just recovering from injury. So, the thing that makes it interesting is that the way the numbers are going to break down per the FHSA playoff ranking system is going to have a lot to do with where teams are going to end up in these different slots. And so we'll be on top of that come Wednesday. We'll have a good idea on some playoff projections now that we've got some district titles sewn up. But a big win by Gadsden County, 20-19 over the Florida High Seminoles. Rains handles business against Madison County. The Cowboys, man, arguably have the toughest schedule in the state, in my opinion. They have played some of everybody, and another hard-fought, knock 'em, rock 'em, sock 'em game against a really, really tough Rains Vikings team on the road. They fall 14-27. How about them Bulldogs at Liberty County? Another victory for Coach Tranquil and his gang, 38-14 over Cottondale. And Cottondale was no slouch. This team had a lot of talent on it. The Collins brothers, they were able to contain them, and Liberty County secures a big win. They are one of the top teams now in the rural classification, in my opinion. That was a dominant win for them, and they've been able to put together a string of victories after starting out the gate a little iffy. They stumbled against Bluntstown to open the season, but man, they have been on a roll ever since. And the Panhandle, man, those rural teams, the picture is starting to become a little bit more clear as to who the dominant teams are.
Yeah, it looks like that. I was surprised how Liberty has turned it around. Maybe when we talked to them this at media day, they were excited about the season, and then they got a rough start, and now look like they hit their stride. And it's a team that I don't think too many people want to start the playoffs with. They can knock you off real good. And Coach Trinkle has got those kids playing and believing. Man, that's a tough out.
Yeah, I would not want to play Liberty County right now. They look like a scary team. Bluntstown, man, 70-piece, 74-0 over Dixie County. And I believe Dixie County made a run to the state invitational rural championship last year. But man, Bluntstown, man, has just been closing the door on teams. I think they could play in any classification the way that they have been lights out. Sion Smith recently committed, and they've got a gang of talent on the offensive front. Coach Wagner really has been stressing defense. I think this is their third shutout on the year, if I'm not mistaken. I have to double check on that. But a big win from Lunstown. In my opinion, they're the top dog, top tiger in the rural classification right now. I don't see anybody get in front of the Bluntstown Buzzsaw as it is right now. You can bump them up a couple of classes. I think they can still hold their own. But congrats to the Tigers as they secure a 74-0 victory over the Dixie County Bears. Baker County down Suwannee in overtime, 28-21. And man, it's just been a tough and battle season for the Suwannee Bulldogs as they suffer another loss. I believe they're sitting at 1-6 right now. So yes, it's going to be a tough outing for Coach Kyler Hall. The team is still young, but a lot of what they have run into is just a really tough schedule. So sometimes timing makes a difference. But man, being able to come close like that and not being able to secure the victory is just always a tough outing. But yeah, Baker County by 7 over Suwannee, 28-21 in overtime. Columbia shuts out Ridgeview, and I think Columbia, I'm not sure if St. Augustine is in their district. I have to double check on that. But Columbia, a big winner over Ridgeview, 44-0. And the Tigers are putting together arguably one of the best seasons that they've had in a while. I think they're a definite threat to make a deep run in the playoffs with a big victory like that. They suffered a big loss at St. Augustine a few weeks back, but man, they've hit the ground running again in the second half of the season. And I believe that they have, the way their schedule stacks up, they've got very winnable games. Just taking a quick peek ahead for Columbia, really, you have to take a look at the rest of that schedule because they're going into their bye week now, and then they got Clay and then a tough matchup against Bowles at home. So, man, 3 weeks left in the regular season, and they're in a really good position right now. Man, this one we had our eyes all over, man. Chiefland and Taylor County hooking up, and man, the Indians are for real as they handle Taylor County. Bulldogs suffered a 30-15 loss at home. And not the way that you wanted to go into this game, or handle this game, but man, Chiefland made Taylor County kind of one-dimensional at certain points with all the talent that they had. And man, just a tough outing for Taylor County as they fall by 15 to Chiefland. Chiefland could be locking down the other side of that bracket, Coach.
Yeah, man. We talked about this on Wednesday. We knew that this was going to be a tough game for Taylor County, and going into the game, I thought it would be a close game, but I kept my eye on this one, the scores, as they put them up, as they posted them. And I was kind of surprised that they got out on Taylor like this. This will help. Believe it or not, when you get in the playoff, these games help. Because sometimes if you're undefeated, you get full of yourself and you don't know what you need to work on. Now they know their weaknesses got exposed, and maybe now they can correct them and move on to the rest of the season.
Yeah, Taylor County's schedule goes like this. They got the rivalry against Suwannee next week, at Mariana and at Leon. So definitely some favorable games in there. But yeah, Taylor County's still in great position going into the playoffs. Franklin County handles Weewahishka 51-20, and the Seahawks get one back in the win column as Coach Cooper and his group. Really, that was a great showing by them. The Franklin County has been on an uptick as of late. Coach Cooper's done a great job turning the program around. This would have been in prior years. This would have been a walkaway victory, but he really has his team back in great position, I believe, to be able to not only get in the playoffs this time, but also make some noise. Pensacola Catholic downs Walton 24-7. Fort Walton Beach edges Arnold 14-12. That was a bit of a surprise for me. But man, I gotta hurry up and get to this game, Coach. You had a chance to watch this one. Bay 38, West Florida 37 in overtime, and man, that was a great game.
Man, I watched this game online, and I was so impressed with the Bay Tornadoes. I was impressed on they got behind. The score they fell behind by 2 scores. And some kind of way I turned away from, I'm watching all these games. I turned away from them for a little while. When I got back, they were driving to tie the game up, and they tied it up. They scored a touchdown and then went for 2 and tied the game up with 16 seconds to go. man, I'm like, and then they went in overtime. I'm like, they scored first, and I like what West Florida did. The coach came in, they scored a touchdown. He wanted to end it right there. He went for two. They didn't make it. Bayhawk wins the game, but it was a great game. Great coaching on both sides. Kids really did well both sides of the ball. You can't be nothing but impressed with what Bayhawk has done. I mean, after last year they struggled. This year, man, they look like a tough team to play.
Yeah, absolutely. Bay has remaining games against Rutherford and Bozeman, and this could be this could be a 9-1 team come playoff time. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they can do in the playoffs. But a huge victory on the road against West Florida in overtime, 38-37 Tornadoes. Auxiliary Christian Downs Graceville shuts out the Tigers 49-0. Big win for the Warriors. South Walton handles Freeport, and this was a surprise to me too.
Yeah.
South Walton 50, Freeport 9, and I may have to get the scoop on that one. Maybe there were some players missing, but I expected this score to be a lot closer. But South Walton pulls away in a big way, 50-9 over Freeport.
Yeah, I was just thinking it was a game we're gonna be. If one team get 50, the other one gets 60 or something. I was kind of surprised that Freeport didn't really score because they've been putting up big numbers. I don't know what happened. Maybe we'll call over there and we'll find out because I was surprised at the score. But this is a county rivalry. I mean, these two teams in the same county, and sometimes you get in those games and things happen. The ball start going the other way. You're looking at it and you're hoping that you can turn things around, and I'm surprised. I was totally surprised at this score.
Yes, Freeport had been, really putting up big numbers this year, and just to, they had coming off of their second bye, and really, just kind of came out flat a little bit against South Walton. But man, Seahawks at home are a different team. They just find a way to just put up a huge numbers when they're in their home dig. So a big win for the South Walton Seahawks over Freeport, 50-9. Sneeze handles business against Jefferson County, 39-6. Rutherford a big winner over North Bay Haven, 49-14. And Chipley, Port St. Joe hooking up, and the Tigers walk away with this one, 29-14. A huge win for Chipley. They went into the Holmes County game with a 16-0 shutout loss, and they had to go into their bye. So this is cranking up the engine for Chipley again, as they're a big winner over Port St. Joe. And then Holmes County jumps all over Vernon, 68-20. And that'll do it for week number 8. We got some district champions that have already locked up the spot for the playoff run that they're about to go on. And then we got some other teams that got some work to do, and we'll have that broken down for everybody on Wednesdays on the Extra Point podcast right here on Four Quarters. Coach, man, this has been a little bit surprising week number 8. Is some unexpected things happen.
Man, that's why they play the games, Mark. You got to play the games. You can't assume it. And the teams, when you come in the game, your records don't mean anything. You got to win. You got to play your best. And some teams have terrible matchups. You might be better. A team with maybe undefeated, but they get a team that they don't match up well against, and then you can look at they struggle. And obviously, the one game that surprised me the most was the Florida High Gaston game, where Gaston defense pretty much shut down a solid Florida High football team.
Shout out to Clifford C. Brooks. We appreciate the love, man.
One of my boys from I coached him in high school. What's happening?
We'll catch everybody next week with the week number 9 Scoreboard Show. Please jump in on Wednesdays, the Extra Point. We're talking about it. All 41 schools from across the Big Bend, the Panhandle, Panama City, and Tallahassee. We got it broken down from Lake City all the way back to the Emerald Coast. We got you locked right here. 4 Quarters, the Overtime Scoreboard Show. We'll catch everybody on Wednesday nights for the Extra Point. We'll be talking playoff previews right here.